Hey, welcome to Social Work Sunday Tea. I am Shakia Houston. It's a great day to be alive and well. We're here today. It is what's
May 1st.
it's May 1st, 2021. I haven't been on here on the podcast for like a month or so. Just really been on the grind with the tea and pop-ups and the market. But yeah,
Hustling.
yeah, all good stuff. All good stuff. Today we have a special guest here. If you would like to introduce yourself, you're not new.
Yeah, this is my fifth time on your show. So,
Right.
um, I'm Damon Avenger, LMSW, social emotional coach. AKA Damon. I ain't gonna use my moniker. Wow, she
Okay.
dropped out.
No. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Oh, I said, Dad, you want me to be solo? Okay, I, I can use my philosophy and my my intellectual musings and give them the world according to Big Sexy. But
Oh
I'm not gonna do that.
Lord. Here we
But
go. Here we go, cousin. Don't act up. Don't act
that's
up in
that's
class.
my ego driven stuff. It's not really necessarily me.
Okay, right. Is that okay? So your alter ego. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I got you. I got you. So, yes, we were together on yesterday in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
Just it was a great time, a great fellowship, a great, connecting with um professionals, mental health professionals, people that shared their stories, things like that. So I gotta ask you, what made you come up with this? Oh, wait. Before I say anything, thank you for inviting me
No
to
problem.
be
Thank you
on
for
the
coming.
panel.
I'm glad
Yeah,
you was able to come. You
yeah.
know, we didn't hold the Chicago Bulls destroying the Knicks in the '90s against you, so we allowed you to come into New York and into Brooklyn.
Yes,
We're gonna
yeah.
let the past be the past. We're not gonna bring it to the future.
No, don't bring it
But
up. Don't bring it up.
so, but what made me bring about this event is, as you know, this is my field, my profession, and like so many people don't talk about mental health, and everybody's going through something. Like I said, we all have some stuff that we carry, and some stuff is heavier than other stuff, and it's just how we manage ourselves that determines what's going to happen. So you have a choice every day to do what you're going to do or not do what you're going to do, or let it win and overwhelm you and stop you from being who you need to be.
Yeah.
So my initial thing, I have a friend on Facebook, not Facebook, I'm sorry, on Instagram. I was on a cruise, I was on vacation. She asked me, "Have you ever thought about doing a men's retreat?" I said, "Nah, I haven't, but that'd be dope." So she said we could talk about it when you get back off your cruise. We never talked about it again, but she planted the seed in my head. So I was like, okay, I want to do a men's retreat. So
Mhm.
one of the panelists, I worked with him when I worked in the school, Mindful Wizard, Mr.
Yeah.
Rivera. He's a dean in the school. So we would all build and we would talk every day. Like how you said, still sharpen still. So we would throw ideas back and forth with each other. So I said, I want to do a men's retreat. I'm going to do something simple, like have a little conference and talk about mental health stuff and also take them fishing. So we probably get like 5 to 10 people. We do it like that. So this
Mhm.
was before COVID. And then
Mhm.
COVID hit and nothing happened for a good 2 years. But I still had the idea in my head, and I said, "We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this." Him and Nigel Young. I used to work with Nigel, and I would tell him, "No, I'm gonna do this event. And I'm gonna pull you in." Because unfortunately, I don't have a lot of male social worker friends, and
Okay.
like that, and like in this, I just don't. And so Nigel's one of my friends, and I said, "We're gonna do this." So time has passed. I wanted to do something in a big park with kids. That fell through. So I asked the Grand Deputy Inspector General of the Masonic Temple if I could do an event there. He said, "Yeah, he would love it." So I was okay. So he gave me permission to use the big hall, which houses over 400 people.
Okay.
I didn't think I was gonna get 400 people, but God gives you a dream. He tells you go bigger, you go bigger.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
went from my idea of 10 people to potentially having 400 to 500 people. So
Mhm.
I was developing and developing. So I reached out to all the people that I can connect with on social media. This is why you got to outreach. And I said we're going to do an event about destigmatizing mental health. A lot of people love the idea, and unfortunately, a lot of my panelists didn't show. But I
Mhm.
can understand because I was actually to do something on a Saturday, which is a great work day for a lot of therapist, and I'm
Yeah.
asking you to do something for free. And then also, if you're out of state, I'm asking you to come to my state, which is almost impossible. So didn't work through. But I got a lot of people that came in the last minute, like the last 2 3 weeks, that were able to come through for me. And it's like I didn't even really talk. I wanted to talk, but I said, "No, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to let everybody else do what they do, because it's not about me. It's about passing the word and helping people with mental health. And as you like to always say, it's about the culture.
Yeah.
So, I should have said that yesterday for you, but I forgot. It slipped my mind. So, and it's like that. It's for the culture. And it's like if you help everybody, I always tell people. Now I do mention something. I said I helped a kid that could potentially hurt my kid.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so if I plant the seeds for him, I may not be able to save him, but if I plant the seeds for him, I'm not going to see what happens when he grows, but he's not going to do something that could possibly potentially hurt my kid or someone in my family that I love. So if I
Right.
help him like that, he'll help someone. Like I tell every kid after they graduated or whatever the case from school or whatever, when I was at the school, listen, don't give me nothing. You don't owe me anything. Help somebody else.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to pass it
Absolutely.
on down. Because when I was trying to develop my personality, my aspect of my identity as a young man, someone helped guide me in the right way. So I've done that with every kid and every person I've ever worked with, and it's been beneficial. So that's how the event came about and what made me decide to do that. Because people, and I always tell people, when they say, "Oh, I want to talk to some therapists," I ain't crazy. I said, "You don't have
Yeah.
to be crazy to talk to someone. Sometimes you need to get stuff up your chest." He said, "Oh, I talk to my friends." I said, "You could do that, but the most important thing is if you have a falling out with your friend, they could throw that in your face and use it
Yeah.
against you. You
Yeah.
have a falling out with me, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing else, and I hold your secrets."
Yeah.
And then I can give you techniques and tools that's going to help you more beneficial than your friends. Sometimes your friends co-sign your bull crap, and you
Yeah.
don't need that in your life.
Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna tell you, nah, that ain't it. You gotta do
Yeah.
it different. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then I could speak to you in the language that you're gonna understand, because I'm not too far removed from the environment. So I could touch you in a way, and I know how to conversate. And I don't even know if that's a real word. I know how to engage people where they feel like they're being spoken to, not spoken at.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna speak in jargon that's above your head.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think that it's definitely beneficial to continue to have platforms, such as, the event on yesterday, and people had questions, people
Yes,
could relate to what we were saying. Even if they didn't ask questions, they were like, it made them think.
yes,
And kind of like welcome them into our world of what we do on a day-to-day
absolutely.
basis.
Like, cause even like my wife is there, and the crazy thing is, she's been with me all these years. She still doesn't really know and understand what I do.
Yeah,
And I like she'll see like one time I work with a lot of kids. She said, "Oh, I just work with kids." I said, "No, I'm a therapist." She said, "You're a therapist?" Like people will be shocked because I don't fit the cookie cutter image of what they think a therapist is supposed to be.
yeah,
And it's like, and then like I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be able to relate to my clients. Supposed to meet them where they at.
yeah,
And these conversations I have with people, and they're like, "This, oh damn, you really are a therapist." I mean, yeah, I know how to be smooth with it. I'm not, I don't overpower you and try to bully you into thinking what I think. I just try to open your eyes and, like you said, open your mind, make you ask a question that you have an answer to, and give you the answer to the next question that you don't even know that you already have.
yeah, definitely. I think more so the trust, in the Black community,
Absolutely.
it's all about trust. Can I trust you with this information? And because the trust barrier between, in the African American community is zero,
Yeah.
when you really really think about it. And so, they don't want to tell you that I have suicidal ideations, or I want to kill
Yeah.
myself, things like that.
Right.
I'm thinking about it, or I took action, on doing that, um hearing voices,
Right.
or seeing things, that it's abnormal, but you don't want to tell nobody because you're gonna look at me crazy, well, look, and think I'm crazy, so I think that's one of the barriers that we have, or the things that we have, is the trust. We don't
Right.
trust each other enough, especially, you know um in our community. We don't trust each other, and also, we love to sweep things under the rug, and past traumas,
Yeah.
generational traumas, things like that. I think that in order to heal, we gotta address them. We got
Right.
to.
Yeah. And it's like I always tell people all the time, you carry something for so long, you think that's who you are and who it's supposed to be, and it's part of your identity. No, it's like you said, it's the culture of living with trauma
Yeah,
and stuff that's not yours to carry that gets us in trouble.
yeah,
We always live in the world of how we expect things to be instead of
hmm,
actually how things actually are. This is why we have so many failed relationships, so many failed opportunities because oh, it's supposed to go this way and go that way. No, you gotta prepare step by step
yeah,
for what's going to happen and how it's going to move. You can't anticipate it to be something that is not.
right,
And that's also with your thoughts and your process in your mind. Like people think about, oh, if I do this and do this, I expect this miraculous thing to happen. There's no magic pill in work life. There's no magic pill in anything. People get into relationships. Oh, we're gonna live happily ever after. Hell no, it's work, 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 work. I
yeah,
hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we can coexist.
yeah,
It's like dealing in the rain and walking under an umbrella with someone that you appreciate walking under an umbrella with.
mm.
Because sometimes, like I said, my wife probably hates me at least 70% of the time, but but she's willing to walk under the umbrella with me the other 30%
yeah, yeah,
because it's something there. And like her main problem is I work too much. Okay, but I'm trying to make the world a better place for people,
right.
and
Absolutely.
because I'm not going to be here forever, it's to help the next generation and generation after that. Because people forget fail to realize someone's watching you or watching something someone else does, even bad behavior, and they're gonna say, "I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it harder and 10 times worse."
Yeah,
And then sometimes it'd be criminal behavior. You be like, "There's no, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be that." Like we can look at the Black Panther Party.
yeah,
Black Panther Party was this one thing. Then everything that came out after the Black Panther Party got worse.
yeah,
Like the gangs
yeah,
that came from the Black Panther Party, and it's so bad now. You like to say you're supposed to protect the neighborhood, but you're terrorizing the neighborhood.
yeah, yep, absolutely. Yeah,
And that's just the whole thing about ideas and thoughts. If I help you change your thoughts and your ideas, you'll be okay.
yeah, yeah. Statistics say 63% of Black people believe that mental health conditions is a sign of personal weakness. Um,
Ah, and the crazy thing is weakness to not acknowledge what you're going through or something like that because you try to repress all that stuff and those emotions. Next year it develops into other things. Like
yeah,
you hold all that stuff into your gut. Like okay, case in point. Say you had an argument at work and you have everything that you want to say to the person, and it could be respectfully or not respectfully, and then you get off your chest. Make sure you go home and you can't sleep because you
yeah,
have so much more stuff that you need to say that you didn't get to say that you got cut off from.
yeah, yeah,
That's what mental health is because you hold all the stuff. It builds up in your system in your body. It builds up in your core. And there's a biblical quote that Aces Matter posted up, and I
yeah,
forgot, and I wanted to use it. It's like a dark pit in your soul of all those emotions and those feelings that you're holding in. It's
mm,
tearing you up.
yeah,
And people don't understand stress and anxiety and depression is like the cause for cancer.
yeah, yep,
So,
yep,
but how do you? I say, how do you prevent cancer? You have to be preemptive. You have to talk about it to the therapist or talk about all that stuff that's bothering you to someone that's important that can help you clinically to erase those issues and give you coping skills that help you move forward.
yeah.
But how you say that's the thing that nobody wants to talk about that they need to talk about.
No, no, definitely. They don't. They don't. They just think, okay, I'm gonna continue to ride this wave
Yeah,
until they snap and be like,
right,
and everybody looking
absolutely.
like, well, what's wrong with you? You know?
Because it wasn't that serious that you had, your reply wasn't that serious. You should have just been. If you'd have said something from the beginning, you wouldn't have that response now. Like
Yeah,
I say what I got to say, and I tell people something, and I'm never disrespectful. I got to get off my chest because I'm not going to drive myself crazy thinking about I should probably said this or said that or said that.
yeah,
Either you mess with me afterwards or you don't mess with me. Okay, no problem. I'm still going to go to sleep. I'm still going to make my money. I'm still
yeah,
going to live my life.
yeah, yeah,
I could agree to disagree with you, but I'm not holding anything in. I'll give you a case in point. Growing up, because I know it now, but I had attachment issues.
mhm,
Like from daddy stuff. From when my stepfather broke up my mom, felt like he abandoned me. I was hurt.
yeah,
When my father left my mom, I felt like I was abandoned and hurt. So it drove me crazy. I would act up in school. and like this, and couldn't understand why I was acting up, and no one else could understand why I was acting up, just because I was hurt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we would move a lot, so next year I was like, I can't make attachments with people. I'll get new friends one year, next year I gotta make new friends the next year.
Yeah.
And the friends I just left, they don't mess with me no more because I don't live over there or I don't go to that area like that. So it's like a lot of attachment stuff. So
Yeah.
I never, as I got older, I never allowed myself to get close to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I realized, oh shoot, Dad, why you keep pushing people away? Because you felt someone's going to leave you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so much of that stuff goes on now, and it's like that's why you have so many people when they have a breakup, they end up hurting themselves or hurting the person that left them and stuff
Yeah.
like that. No, if you'd address your attachment issues early, you wouldn't have had that issue. And then my mother put me in counseling early, but my stubborn butt wouldn't talk. I would talk sometimes, but I wouldn't talk a lot of times. But I could never understand what was bothering me until later. And then spin the block to bring back to that question. Connected with my father, and we were good. I was 40. I was got married, and then he said, "I'm proud of you." I felt like a little 4-year-old kid, with this biggest smile in the world. Like, oh shoot! Out of all the
Yeah.
things I've accomplished up to that point in my life, I've done a lot.
Yeah.
But to hear my father say, "I'm proud of you," was the greatest thing in the world to me. And
Yeah.
it's like it took a load off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Like that pain of not having him early in my life drove me to be everything good and bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I could recognize it later, but see, I
Mhm.
wouldn't address it when I was younger because I wasn't ready to address it and I didn't have a word for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what we talked about on yesterday. Yeah, we when you're younger, you really don't know how to articulate what it is that
Exactly.
you're feeling. So like when you older, you like, oh, that's what that was,
Yeah.
and that's that aha moment, you
Yeah.
know.
And
Yeah,
then working with these young males, when I say something to them, no, 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 that's it. Trust me, that's what it is. They say, how you know? Because I lived that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they be like, damn. And I said,
yeah,
and trust me, that's why I always said the pain I felt and experienced, I was never gonna do that to my kids.
yeah,
And I was never gonna let my kids like have to experience that. Like some rappers are putting their songs. The hardest thing in the world is if I would say I'm coming to pick you up and don't show.
yeah,
That's harder than getting kicked in the private area.
yeah,
I'd rather you kick me in the private area, punch you in the nose, and say I'm coming to get you, don't show up. That
yeah,
hurt.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that's that emotional stuff that we don't talk about, that we carry, we try to hide and mask it with all type of other things, like people smoke a whole bunch of weed and drink a whole lot and just be a closed hard cold-hearted person. Like, no. And no new friends, come
yeah.
on, that's terrible. You got to have new friends. That's how you develop new ideas. That's how you develop different energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but a lot of people they're hurt. And also childhood plays a major, like
Absolutely.
it's a make and break. And people don't
Yeah.
understand that, and it's a lot of adults that's walking around here still have that childlike mindset.
Yeah.
Grown
I,
adults, but children.
when I do an intake with a person and a client, there's two things I use. One person will be saying stuff to me, I ask a question, and I'm like, this, damn, yo, who hurt you? And
Hmm.
they'll look at me or stop talking. I said, forgive that person. It's not for them, it's for you.
Yeah.
And then they be like, a week or two later, yo, ain't nobody ever tell me that before.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I understand. Another
Yeah.
one I always tell people, be relationship stuff. Or I say, yo, you gotta ask yourself this question. Excuse my language. How much shit are you willing to eat?
Yeah.
And they go, damn. I said, you don't like the smell of shit. So how much of that shit you gonna eat?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it hits them differently. And that's gonna be tied in my book when I finish writing it, if I ever get to do what I need to do. And because it speaks
Yeah.
to brokenness in males. Like, I can't talk about what females can do, but I can speak about how it is to be a broken man and how it impacts my relationships with others.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many songs that you hear people and you're like, okay, one of my favorite Charlie Wilson songs. It's not even just, it was when he was in the group. Gap Man.
Hmm.
It's yearning for your love. So many of us be yearning for someone's love.
Yeah.
And the hook is, you can't keep running in and out of my life.
Mhm,
That,
mhm. Yes. I know. Yep.
that's black family
Absolutely.
culture.
Yeah, it is.
Unfortunately,
Yep, it is. It is.
you
I'm
know,
here.
yeah. So stuff like that is just different. And like, we put our pain on paper, we put our pain on songs, but we don't talk about it to the therapist. For some
Yeah.
people, that's therapeutic, but now you need to develop coping skills to help you address that pain that you're dealing with. And let's spin the block. That's why I had that event, Destigmatizing Mental Health.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because we
Yeah.
had one of the presenters. She spoke about her pain,
Yeah.
forgiving and mentoring the young man that accidentally killed her sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah. That's real, real deep. Yeah. Miss Coco, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Coco.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off that, I had a guy that was supposed to come speak, but he wasn't able to because he was sick. He's still feeling the effects of COVID.
Okay.
His daughter was a nationally ranked basketball player and was killed in a
Mm,
neighborhood thing. And it was going back and forth to court. He took it upon himself to speak to the mother of one of the young men that was accused of killing his daughter
mm-hmm.
and hugged her and forgave her son. And they
Mm,
run a program together.
mm,
And I said, damn. I said, you have in you what I just want a piece. I said, if I could just have a piece of what you got in you, that
yeah.
ability to forgive, I'll be the best man alive. Because I
Yeah.
don't have that what you have in you.
Yeah.
And like with Coco, for her to have that in her, that shows the strength of who
Yeah.
she is. Like I explained to us, like I asked her the question, what did the pain teach you?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
pain is and it's one of my things I always use in therapy. Pain is a much better teacher than I am.
Mm, yeah.
Pain to teach you something. And sometimes we so hard headed, we don't listen, and we gotta go through it over and over and over
Over and
again.
over again. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the metaphor I use in my treatment with people. I say, your mama tell you stop touching that damn stove.
Yeah.
How many times
Mhm.
you had to learn that lesson? One time.
One time. Yeah.
But everything else, we don't learn it. We keep going through it over and over again. And see, in terms of our relationships with significant others or relationship with the friends that we bring around us, you know when a friend ain't no good for you, but you keep bringing that type of friend around you all the time. You draw that as your energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you guys say you gotta take a step back this day. What am I putting out to make these people want to be around me? It's like good energy attracts good and bad people. But you
Yeah.
got to decipher what you want to incorporate into your life and how to keep it out of your life.
Yeah.
But if
You
you went
just
to a
told me that.
therapist, I know
You just told me that.
this is why I'm good at what I do. But if you don't be a hater, you see that's the Chicago stuff. If you
Never.
if you speak to a therapist, the
Yeah.
therapist can help you decipher that and give you tools necessary to help you improve. But if you talk to your home peoples, like your best friend or something like that, that isn't addressing their stuff, they don't say, "Girl, don't worry about that. All men do this. All men do that. Don't worry. At least he do this and he don't do that." No, you
No.
settling.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
settling, and we can't allow ourselves to settle for
Yeah.
ourselves and for other people around us. Because remember, you're raising the next generation, and
Absolutely.
then
Yep.
or you teaching the next generation.
Yeah.
Hurt people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emotionally hurt people too.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. I think that um I think that it was just amazing on yesterday how we kind of we connected the dots. Like
Absolutely.
everybody connected the dots, and it was amazing. So what was some of your what was some of your thoughts about the event?
My, my,
I'm gonna put you on the big screen because my daughter opening the door. Hold on. Go
it's all
ahead.
good. So my thoughts. I wanted a bigger turnout, but that's my ego talking, and because I wanted more people to get the message. But that was my first event, and people was like, "Yo, this is really good." Even when the councilwoman, she was like, "Wow, this is good. We got to do this again. We need to do this either weekly or monthly." And I was like, "Okay, we could do that." And but I want, like I said, it's my expectations of wanting to hit people from every angle and make everybody feel heard and seen. And but I was pleased with the panelists and everything that they did, and how they was able to share their stories and give insight and give different. Like I said, it was, so I'm gonna say 10. There were 10 different perspectives that
Yeah.
all centered back around about why we need to be better and how we can be better, and
Yeah.
don't have to carry it. And like you don't, like I always say, you never have to carry this load alone once
Yeah.
you speak to someone, because it's not yours to carry alone. And I'm going to help you take stuff out that's not yours to carry.
Yeah. 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 I thought it was amazing. I was like, all right, cool. Connecting with people.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I
yeah,
saw you up there, building bonds, taking selfies with people. I was like, look at her, she out here acting like they her best friends from from first grade. But but see, that's the energy of good people
yeah,
with the same purpose and same goal and
yeah,
objective.
yeah,
And like you said, I didn't want nothing from you other than you to be out there and shine and do what you do and help educate people.
yeah,
And that's what it's supposed to be about.
yeah,
Like I said, me and Mindful Visit, one of his presenters, we
yeah,
spoke about this for 2.5 years.
yeah, yeah,
And haven't worked with him for the last year and 13 months. But we
mhm,
still touching base on social media, texting and calling. Yo, you're
yeah,
gonna do this, you're gonna do it. I said, yo, you what you need? I said, I just need you to do what you do.
yeah,
Because I've seen what he does when he does his mindfulness
yeah,
exercises and stuff like that. And he
yeah,
just gave an abbreviated version of it.
yeah. And it was dope. I was
Yeah,
like,
because
oh,
it touches you. And I always say, I know mindfulness, but I can't do it at the level he does.
yeah,
So when we do stuff together, I say, yo, do what you do. I
yeah,
know how to do it. I know how to spin it around and come back home and bring it home. I know how to like that.
yeah,
I said, do what you do.
yeah,
And it's like it works because
yeah,
it's something so simplistic that you don't realize, like, oh shoot, my thoughts and my breathing affect everything
yeah,
because you're not breathing from your core. It goes back to the center of all everything,
yeah,
that intergenerational trauma. And this guy who got a book called Grandma Hands, he calls it the soul nerve, which is the vascular nerve, but it's all from your gut. And how
mhm,
you say when your spider sense tingle would be your gut to get a burning sensation.
yeah,
And mindfulness affects that area right there. It changes you live in the present and breathe and you center yourself.
yeah, yeah,
And he did his thing, which
yeah,
he
he did.
always does.
Yeah, he
You
did.
did your thing. And yes, the black men appreciate you saying that you love us. And we appreciate that because I say this to people all the time. Black men are the most hated people in the world, and the
Yeah,
black woman is the most disrespected. And
yeah,
she gets disrespected by the black man as well. It's
yeah,
because we're angry, we don't know how to express our anger. So
yeah,
many black men are mad at their mothers and their grandmothers and their aunties.
yeah,
So they take it out on the women that closely resembles them.
yep,
And we're wrong for that.
yeah,
And I'll speak for all black men, which I can't, but I'm gonna say I apologize to all black women for our behavior towards y'all, and we need to do better.
yeah,
Because see, that's broken men.
yeah, yeah. So how do we pull them in? How do we, other than having conversations, but
Yeah,
first thing is you got to accept the fact that okay, this is what this is. You know,
right. So many people. Okay, you remember Kevin Hart when he had a special when he was talking about his father and his uncle was talking about. Remember, we was out there smoking S&D for crack.
yeah.
You
Right.
got to hit rock bottom for some people
Yeah,
to realize like I don't want to do this no more.
yeah,
But you don't have to hit rock bottom if you
yeah,
talk about it for someone that you respect and you value their opinion, and you
yeah,
know that's not going to do you wrong.
yeah, yeah,
And it's like it could be a pastor, it could be anything else, but they should point you in the direction of someone who's clinically trained to help you master those emotions and those
yeah,
thoughts and
yeah,
those feelings.
yeah,
I'll do an intake with someone, and then they say, I just say a female, they say, I prefer to work with a female. Automatically know what's going on because
mhm,
she has some sexual trauma stuff she needs to talk about. I said,
yeah,
Miss, I'm not upset with you. You have to be comfortable with who you need to
yeah,
speak to. I tell people that this is your life
yeah,
and you need to be because if you're not going to be truthful to the person that you're talking to, you can't get help and you can't move forward.
yeah,
So we need to be able to talk to someone that we know is going to help us. Like I tell people, I don't care if you like me
mhm,
as a therapist. You're not supposed to like me. You're
yeah,
supposed to respect me and trust me to do my job effectively.
yeah,
I tell people, my mama love me. Nobody else got to like me.
yeah, yeah,
Let me help you to do what you have to do. I have clients that say, "Yo, thank you for helping me. You saved my life." So no, I ain't saved your life. I just pointed you in the right direction because you was
yeah,
going off the path.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I said I thank you for trusting me to be able to help you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. And pointing them in the right direction. One of she was on the end. I think her name was Dawn. Was it Dawn?
Yes,
Yes, she talked about some of the social economic
absolutely.
disparities. Like
Poverty
she
is a
was
mother
gonna
trigger.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
was
I
like,
spoke to her afterwards because we're gonna do some stuff together. I said I knew you was going.
Listen.
Don't be afraid to speak your piece. Say what you got
Right,
to say.
exactly.
And say,
Yeah,
not only must the truth be told, but it must also be the truth.
yeah,
And you was about to speak the truth. Some people are uncomfortable with the truth, but it is what it is.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
cold, it's hard, and it's the truth.
yeah, definitely. Like the economic, the health.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
What we
the
eat,
yep,
and the poor quality of stuff that's in our neighborhoods.
yep,
And it's like,
absolutely.
come on, it's like we only get good food in our neighborhoods when our neighborhood get gentrified, and even then we get the lowest quality of good food. You know what
Yep,
I'm saying? Whole
yep,
Foods give us crap. We got to go
yep,
to their neighborhoods to get Whole Foods like that. But it's like all that bad stuff isn't good for us, and
yeah,
we've been, unfortunately, that's the culture of poverty.
yeah, yeah,
You see
yeah,
that word culture? Culture is big.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Culture of trauma, culture of poverty. All that
yep,
stuff circulates, and it impacts your mental health in a way that you don't realize. And yes, because it's normalized to you.
yeah, yeah,
And she's like, oh, but that's things have always been that way. But that doesn't mean it's right. Just because
yeah,
it's always been that way.
right, absolutely. Yeah,
And everybody say, oh, we need to change the narrative. We don't have to change the narrative. We developed the narrative from the beginning.
yeah,
My
yeah,
story is my story. It's not. Excuse me. I can't tell Shakia's story.
yeah,
I can't. That's no. That's Shakia's story.
right,
Let Shakia tell her story and make it the way she wants to make it, and she can develop the ending that she wants to develop. Damon would tell a story how he wants to develop his story and like that. I got me and my cousin developed this s- um strategy. We call it restorative intake process. We're using restorative principles and um, narrative therapy principles, where your identity is not based on who you were or who you are. It's about who you're trying to become.
mm,
And like I always tell people, I don't do anything that's going to impact my neighborhood or my people in a negative way.
yeah,
So if you're
yeah,
trying to restore if you're trying to restore you and your neighborhood, you're building your community in a way that can be built it can be beneficial to everybody. So like I said, hurt people.
yeah,
So if I'm developing my emotional health and trying to fix my brokenness,
yeah,
you're going to see me and you're going to try to model that same behavior. Then you're going to fix your brokenness. Next, that's two pillars and the foundations being developed,
yeah,
and
yeah,
on top of each other. But it's a process. Someone has not to be afraid to be the first
yeah,
one.
yeah,
First one is always hated and ridiculed, but
yeah,
after a while, you're like, "Well, damn, you doing your thing."
yeah. Always. Yeah, and I always think of it, are we gonna fix it or we gonna heal it?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, if you heal it, that's starting to develop a fixing it. But if you
Mm-hmm.
fix it, okay, all you did was just
Yeah.
put some bricks over the hurt shit that's underneath. That's still gonna
Yep.
still be there. No, we
Yep.
need to dig in those roots, pull that shit up. Excuse my language, and
Yeah.
throw it to
No,
the
it's
side,
good.
and fix that wound.
Yeah. Yep. Put some sap on it
Yeah,
and some maggots to
it's a
clean it out.
absolutely.
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
I
Because
think I
it
think
can't
that's
linger.
what. Yeah. No, I definitely think that that's what the Black community we need. But people, they be like, oh, what you trying to do? But it's like when it started popping off, it's like, oh, like with COVID, like COVID made us sit with ourselves, sit with
Yeah,
our
and,
shit.
and
You know
some
what I
people
mean?
were uncomfortable with that.
Oh my God. And then you have to connect and be with people all day. And you really didn't know really too, you knew about them, but you had to like,
You ain't realize like, what the hell, damn, what the hell did I
right,
get myself into?
right, exactly. Yes, a lot of people they had to sit with that. And
Mm,
so even some stuff about myself, I'm gonna be transparent. It's some stuff I was like, I don't like that about myself. Even I was working in a long-term care, taking care of the geriatric population, making sure their mental health is together, things like that. But I had to sit with myself as well because it was some stuff I didn't like about myself. And I'm like, okay, Shakir, what we gonna do differently? Because
mm,
this ain't gonna work. And I
mm,
really didn't know it until like I said, like I had to sit with myself and be like,
mm.
and I had to look in the mirror and be like, Shakia, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So it goes back to how much shit are you willing to eat,
Yeah,
and you
definitely.
realize like, okay, I got to change something. And see, so many people know they got to change something and refuse to change it because they ain't
Yep,
so comfortable
yep,
laying in that shit.
yep, yep. Just bathing in it,
Yeah,
rocking up in it.
yeah.
Because that's their, they're comfortable in it.
That's the
And
culture.
they don't right, exactly. And they don't want to change that. And so they feel like, okay, change is always good, but at the same time, it makes you uncomfortable. And a lot of people don't want to be uncomfortable. I'd rather be uncomfortable. Like this season in my life, I'm uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, all right. But I still gotta trust the process and keep going. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Even
Yeah.
when I feel defeated, even when I'm feeling like, oh no, this ain't gonna work. I gotta keep going because I don't know the ending. But you can't say I ain't try.
Right. And the whole thing is, just because it's hard don't mean it's impossible.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the most important thing. And like, okay, what do you want for yourself, and what do you want for your future generations, and what you want to leave behind as your legacy?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Definitely.
like my childhood nickname. When people call me that, I get mad. Like, nah, don't call me that,
What's your
because we're not doing that on
okay,
social
all right.
media.
Okay, all
And
right.
it's a simple name. It's a big man. But you know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Because I used to think I was a big man, and I said I don't. I didn't like to listen to adults,
okay,
and
okay.
especially males. See, it goes back to that attachment issue.
Yeah,
So I always challenge authority figures in
yeah,
men. So I got into a lot of situations with older men or
yeah,
older people because I
yeah,
thought I was this big man,
yeah, yeah,
and it was a little kid just trying to be a big guy.
yeah, yeah,
So that's my past. But my legacy moving forward is helping people. People like, oh, you help people. I have people say, yo, I want you to work with my daughter, work with my son. All right. I'm like, nah, I know you. I can't work with your child. I can introduce them to someone who can.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I said, I don't need to know. It's none of my business. And people
Mhm.
respect me on the side. Like, people tell me stuff, and I be going, I said, I heard that before. And they go, what? And I said, you ain't say nothing. It's none of my fucking business.
Right.
And the thing is, so many people wouldn't have the issues they had if they mind their mother freaking business.
Yeah,
That's a big spot pack of the stuff that we carry that we shouldn't carry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
And it will help improve your mental health. And when you see you
Yeah,
stick your nose in someone else's business, next year other problems come around and all stuff like that. Next year is conflict. Some
yeah,
conflict that be handled with words, some conflict that become physical, some conflict that be life altering, life changing.
yeah,
But if you'd have mind your mother freaking business from the beginning, we wouldn't have had this.
yeah. You're right.
Remember what's that cartoon back in the days? And Woody Woodpecker would have went straight to the police. None of this would have ever happened.
Right. You're right. You're
Come on,
absolutely
I
right.
told you,
Yeah.
I'm always right.
Oh, dang.
Have I been
You're
wrong
right.
yet? Let's tell me, have I
You're right.
been wrong yet?
No, you haven't. You haven't been
Right.
wrong yet.
And I don't argue nothing I'm not sure about if I don't know 100%.
Right. You're
So
right.
that's why I'm right. But when I'm wrong, I'll shut my damn mouth because I need to learn something. And people don't know, shut up. Mind you, but okay.
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't know that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think was going through the minds of the people that, were listening to some of the panelists
Right.
on stage?
The crazy thing is, a few people were triggered.
Yes.
And like, a few people spoke to me afterwards, and someone told me about one person that was triggered, but had and left because they were triggered.
Mm,
And I was like,
yeah.
just damn, I'm sorry. My objective was to have people therapy, and I was going to use female therapists around just so they could help a person if they step out like this. You okay? Anything going on? I wanted to have emotional support for people,
Yeah.
but it worked. It worked out that it didn't work that way, but it worked out that people were able to come up afterwards and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So a lot of people learned something new.
Yeah.
They were triggered, and they got support.
Yeah.
And that was important. Like I
Yeah.
always tell people, what I do is plant the seed, and it's up to you to walk through the door and decide what you're going to do next, or if you're going to
Yeah.
bring somebody with you the next time, so they can learn something.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it don't be your stuff that you carry; it's your partner that's carrying something, and you can say, "Oh, you need to hear this," and
Yep.
next, they get tools to work on what they need to work on, or
Yeah.
like Durrell Health said, "Hey, we got mental health, physical health, GYN stuff. Come down and what you want to do? Pap smear, blood pressure stuff, come on down. We're gonna take care of you
Yeah.
and stuff like that because it's the whole mind, body, and soul.
Right, right, right. And I think another thing, I'm glad that that's in place because a lot of people don't have access to that, especially in
Yes,
the Black community because of
absolutely.
no healthcare. They don't have the money to be able to see. mental health therapists because of their insurance.
Right.
And the insurance companies, they do what they want to do. And then, as far as like, oh, they can take this, or if they do take it, it take a long time to get your money when
Yeah.
you bill for it. So it's just so many avenues and things, but we always work around, and I know for black people, the culture, we always prevail, always,
Absolutely.
in every situation we prevail. And
We're
also I like
resilient.
how, uh when we were talking about, he asked the question, what was the guy name? He said, has anybody ever heard gunshots? And
Yeah.
the
Oh, Nigel.
whole, now
Yeah.
I'm talking about, everybody's like,
Yeah.
yes, you know what I mean? And it kind of gave me an aha moment as well, because I'm like, dang, everybody in the room, like, we got PTSD. Like, it's like
And that's the
normal.
culture of who we are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna show you how trauma affects us from the very beginning, and people don't understand. Man meets girl, man gets girl pregnant, and he tells her, "I don't want to have a baby," and
Hmm.
she hears that, and she processes that into her body. Who gets that? The baby. Or
Hmm.
woman says, "Damn, I can't afford to have this baby. What I'm gonna do? I need to do something." Who's that? Who gets that? Process that all into the baby,
Hmm.
just like that. So then, when the baby gets born, mother naturally loves,
Yeah.
or she doesn't love.
Yeah.
Now that attachment develops from very beginning, or not develop. Now the father, he's around or he's not around. That's
Yeah.
also an abandonment attachment. And it's
Yeah.
like that. So you're born into a world of trauma without you even being born yet,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
in your body from the beginning. So you grew, and was fed trauma from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you be so desensitized, and it's part of our culture. Like that's not right. Sometimes we look
Yeah.
at bullying and stuff like this. Man, that's all you gotta do is fight back, punch somebody in the face. No, they don't.
Yeah.
And people laugh at me when I say it. You don't see school shootings in the black community because we bully will take care of it outside, whatever the case may be, and or you just stop going to school.
Yeah.
Other coaches come and shoot the whole school up.
Yeah. They do.
Unfortunately, because we know it'll be a school shooting, be the wrong person get shot, but it don't be the person that you had the issue with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those other coaches, they'll shoot up the whole school. Unfortunately, like
Yeah.
there's no, yeah, you shot teachers that had nothing to do with this. You shot kids that had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the whole thing is, it's not about gun control. If you teach people how to treat other people,
Yeah.
you won't have to worry about bullying and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
bullying is so desensitized in the black community. It's like no. Like, and I say sometimes, I believe punching people in the face is the answer sometimes because I can use my words and you don't get it. I still punch you in the face. And oh, you understand me now. But that's my last resort. But
Right.
I'm going to try to talk to you before I have to get to this point.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Hmm.
you don't get it. It's just like with cursing. You heard what I said, but you really got it when I cursed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you don't just hear me, but you feel me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we have
Yeah.
to do that, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's the culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I always tell kids, I may be wrong in my response,
Yeah.
but I got my point across.
Yeah. Hmm.
Unfortunately, and that's a negative way to get my point across.
Yeah.
But you heard me now.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Because, like, I'm telling you, like, when you cool, calm, and collective, and then you dropping F bombs and all,
Yeah,
and then they get a, oh, you for real, you serious? Like, I was serious to begin with, and you try to redirect that energy, and not try to go that route, but
yeah,
yet and still, that's what we respond to.
yeah, and it's unfortunate. Like and I tell people all the time when I see working in school, I will pay attention, but it also applies to me. Fighting and all that stuff is about breathing. If you can't breathe, you can't fight.
Yeah.
So the person who's calm and saying what they got to say, that's the one you worry about because
Yeah.
they already monitor their breathing. They get themselves prepared because their mind is already made up. And when your mind is made up, there's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
rah 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 loud people. Oh, I ain't worried about you. You ain't about shit, and you
Yeah.
can't breathe right now. So your
Yeah.
fight is already over. You don't even realize it.
Right. Right.
Like that.
No,
It's the
that's
calm, cool one. That's where you sit back and like, okay,
yeah. Yeah. I think that,
he's the one that would do something.
yeah, always. I think that overall, the panel discussion, everything was amazing. My cousins, if they on, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank y'all for coming out. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, that it was definitely needed. Like I said, it's for the people, it's for the culture. Um,
Absolutely.
Definitely we're gonna have more and more of these discussions and talking about the black community because I mean it's needed. I mean, one podcast at a time, one event at a time,
It's a brick. It's a
yeah,
foundation.
yeah, it definitely is until people get it. Mental health wasn't really mental health. It wasn't really, out there, especially in the black community. And now we see the effects of it. Like,
Yeah.
dang, you know um and so that's the beauty of it. We kind of like uncovering our eyes. We was once was blind, now we see, type of
Yes.
thing. Yeah, so I think that that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. And I think that more and more therapists, black and brown therapists, we put ourselves out there and like, hey, we got stuff going on too, but we're here
Yeah.
to help and we're available to you, to be able to meet the need and unpack that bag. Like I said
Right.
yesterday, unpack the bag and then learn, unlearn, and then learn again.
Absolutely.
Man, that is like that's like the motto,
That's a big thing in the toolbox.
Yeah,
It's like if you unpack and pack and learn again, because no, what you learned was not the way. Do something
yeah,
different.
yeah. Like because we know better now. Now
Yeah.
because we got clarity, we got understanding, and then education, but also learning life experiences. Like, ooh, I ain't gonna do that no more.
You learn
Like you
what
said
not to
with the
do.
yeah, and it's a process. So to whoever's out there, you want therapy, inbox me. If you're in Brooklyn, inbox Damon.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, that's my cousin. Hey, cousin. The presentation was excellent as this discussion. Thank you for the invitation. Yes, cousin, Brooklyn.
No, we out here. Brooklyn's in these streets.
Yeah, in these streets. But no, like it's definitely needed. For the people, for the culture. Like I'm gonna screen it till the wheels fall off because we gotta change that narrative. That aha moment has to be clicked. And to this generation, even the older generation, because working with the geriatric population, they got a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And like some of the stuff that I heard, I was like, ooh, and back then we didn't have all of this what we have now. And so you have older generation, teaching, my mom's generation, then my generation, then here I am. Okay, let me do something differently. Some stuff I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to use, because it was, that's what their experience and things like that. But um kind of like put it together and make it do what it do. But it definitely it has to happen. It has to happen. And yeah, yeah, it gotta happen. So
Right. It
um
will.
yeah, definitely. But I thank everybody for joining in on this live discussion um, for mental health in the Black community. And it's happy Mental Health Awareness Month. The whole month of May is mental health awareness. I'll be putting up, mental health information on the Instagram, Facebook, all my platforms, so people can get more and more aware of mental health because it is a thing. It is. We got to stop that stigma, that negative connotation when it comes to mental health, and especially in the Black community, Black and
Right.
brown community. So every podcast, I won't be on for next week because it's Mother's Day. I'll probably do something. I don't know. I gotta ask my mama if she's gonna do it, but I doubt it. But yeah, for the Mother's Day. And then next week, the weekend after next, we got another dynamic therapist that's gonna be on the live, and we will be talking about holding grudges. So
Man,
it's gonna be good.
I need to check into that show. I'm holding a 30 some odd year grudge.
Oh, cousin.
It's trauma. Excuse my name. One of us got to die for it to be over.
Cousin, no.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm saying it is what it is. And I'm saying, and I know better, but
Right.
you know, I get triggered and the trauma comes back and like, okay,
Yeah.
damn.
But you
Like,
know what? We're human. We're
yeah,
all human. And I think that um people need to understand that as well. Like, you gotta you feel what you feel. You just gotta redirect that energy. But well, we're gonna talk about that later. But no, thank you everybody. Where can they find you on social media platforms, Damon?
You can find me on my OnlyFans.
Why my cousin acting up like this?
I'll be on OnlyFans. All I do is type notes on my OnlyFans
Oh my
page, but
gosh, no. Cousin.
uh, I'm saying, why can't I have a therapist can have an OnlyFans page? I'm not stripping. I'm just typing notes, playing music in the background. You don't type your progress notes with music playing.
No. Where they can find you at, Damon?
Oh, my bad. um, shit. um,
You be
um,
cutting up all the
hey,
time.
sometimes I just gotta say one good joke out the way.
I
Um,
understand.
I'm on
I understand.
Instagram, Damon Avenger at
Yes.
LMSW at Instagram. I'm on man, Damon Avenger, social emotional coach. My Facebook, yeah, that's my Facebook business page.
Yeah.
Then I'm Damon Avenger, social emotional on Twitter.
Okay.
Or
Cool.
you can email me at DamonAvenger at Gmail if you
Okay.
want to talk and tell me
Okay.
how much you hate me or how much you like what I talk about. You know,
They
or tell
gotta
me you
hate
want to meet
so
up and we could get it shaken, or we can catch the fade. How you? Because y'all gonna stop bullying my cousin out here in these streets because
bad.
she nice,
Listen,
I'm not.
listen. They
I,
be trying to come for me,
yeah,
cousin. I'll be
I'll
like,
tell you what.
man,
I want all the smoke. You know what I'm saying?
oh
Tell me
my
where you will
god.
meet.
Well, I'm
Uh,
gonna direct them to you.
yeah, send me the Addy and I'm hunting you down. I'll come to you. Uh,
But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, and thank you for
Not a problem.
allowing me to be on the platform.
No, no, thank you for
Um,
coming.
yeah,
You got something
yeah.
to say, and I need you to say it.
I said it. I said
All right, and you're gonna say it again and again and again. They're gonna hear you.
yes. They gonna hear me. Well, thank you everybody, and you guys have a great and productive Sunday. And thank you again for joining in
And
on.
happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes, happy Mother's Day. I love you guys, and I'll see you the weekend after. All right, peace.
Peace.